Hello guys and welcome back. This is Amaros on the RxCraft server. I am strolling through my tree farm at the moment. Doesn't really look very industrial, does it? But the benefit is we have every type of tree that I've been able to gather thus far. We have our jungle trees over here and our spruce. We got some dark oak, some normal oak, aspen, or birch they call it. We got these trees that I still can't pronounce, acacia or something like that, acacia. I don't like these very well because, as you can see, the texture pack I'm running does not have an update for them, and they're a nasty orangish color. I'm sure they'll work in a few places, but I'm kind of partial to the normal oak planks with this mod pack, and the dark oak actually looks really nice as well. Turcanil has been complaining about my entrance. He doesn't quite like the whole hike from the village or from wherever he comes from. I think he comes from that way somewhere. And hopping and jumping up here. I have improved the landing a little bit here. As you can see, like I said, these planks look really nice with this high-res texture pack. So I'll probably be using these things a lot more. The dark oak looks even better. I'll show you that in a second. As you can see, I got my glass entryway all nice and laid out here. I even have some zombie heads and skeleton head trying to ward off evil, but they just don't listen very well. I tried some lava up here behind some quite clear glass to see how transparent it could be, because how nice this ended up. It looks really nice at night. But this stuff leaks. The normal glass does not leak, but this one does. So I'm just gonna have to switch this out with the normal glass. That's gonna be a little bit of a task. Fortunately, my entryway up there is right here. So all I need to do is punch a hole in that and dirt hop all my up to the path that I have up there. It's just a little bit above the level of the lava. It goes all the way around, so I should be able to go and bucket it up. There's only 4 spots here, 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 and here that are actual lava source blocks. The rest is just flowing. So it should be pretty easy to clean up and swap out, and these quite clear blocks are very nice because when you get rid of them, they actually turn back into a block that you can then just reuse somewhere. So I don't have to worry about wasting sand and smelting and all that stuff that goes along with it. Now back this way we have our cow farm, but man, the noise! Look at all those cows in the... Oh, accidentally stopped the recording. Let's go ahead and turn off this audio here. There we go. So the cows, as you can tell, are very, very noisy, and you can see I kind of put them here because of the wheat farm. This thing was supposed to feed, you just grab it and go, but it's just a little too noisy for my taste. I might actually go and kill these guys, poor things, just to move this entire structure somewhere else, maybe further away from my base. I'll maybe bury it in a hole, I don't know. Just let that be a lesson and a warning. If you're gonna build one of these, don't build it right next to your bed. It is not a good idea. I screwed up there and we'll have to just rebuild this whole thing. Good thing we actually have me building it, so I can watch that and figure it out again. I have made some modifications to it. As you can see, I moved the button up these flight of stairs so I can just press it here and get my cow fountain so I can feed them. They seem to push over their calves pretty easily into this area. Not all of them make it, apparently. hence why I have a gazillion cows. But on the upside, feeding them still gives me about 35 leather in one go. As you can see, we have loads of steak, and that's only after a few feedings because I'm too lazy to plant wheat. We have taken all of that leather and made books. Lots and lots and lots of books. So we now have a full enchanting table that can go up to level 30 and give us a nice full enchant. I actually used it on a diamond pickaxe and got a measly Silk Touch 1. And that's it. For a full level 30. That's sad. But hopefully we'll be able to use some additional books and add to that enchant, or just re-enchant another pick. I don't know. So I had originally recorded this episode and it came out 26 minutes of me talking to myself. I was having some microphone problems and I was going over some ideas with this wheat farm and what I can do to fix it. And after I recorded the episode, before I got it processed, I went ahead and made those changes. I was going to feature that on the next episode, but I'll feature it now. What we have is a button that we can press. We dispense water from the four corners. I need to fix this. Right now it's just kind of that way because of me working on it and leaving it to show you. But it washes everything down to the middle, and you can see it actually fills up in the chest here, so we don't have to actually go run around and collect it. So we can just pull out a couple seeds from a previous harvest, hit the button again, sucks up all the water, and we can just start planting all over again. You can see the crack there where I have all the water. I am able to throw a few stoppers in there so I can do some of the redstone underneath. That way we don't flood the basement. But for the most part, it's water under there. But I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. We have our secret entrance right here so we can see the redstone. So we have a lot of our BuildCraft stuff going on in here so that we can move the items. We have our button that comes down from the wall, uses this Ender IO redstone conduit that just transmits the signal down to ground here, and we could simply replace this with a quite spacious spiral redstone staircase that is easily done, but I'm lazy. I like things compact and clean and hidden, and this makes a good way to hide all of that redstone. The button actually sends a redstone signal right across the top or behind this dispenser right there, so it'll actually activate before it even gets down here. We can just follow it over here. We got a repeater into a stone, into a redstone torch which lights up this block, which turns on the dispenser that's directly above it, and the signal comes out the side of the block, passes over to here, goes back into this block, does the exact same thing to turn on that dispenser. I mean, I could have done that with redstone signal as well through the conduit, but as lazy as I am, I still like to do some things traditionally. They help you guys out to be able to do things on your more vanilla servers, or if you're using the same mod pack as we are, then you can do the same and still come out pretty good. The redstone conduits aren't that expensive, but they're expensive enough that a repeater and a torch is a lot cheaper to use. And it just dead ends over there. Now what we have in the middle is we have an obsidian conduit, well, obsidian transport pipe, and what it does is it just sucks in all the blocks that land right here within this block in the edge of the surrounding here. If we had an engine, we could power it and suck from a larger area, but we use the water to kind of uproot all of the plants and push them to the middle at the same time, so we don't have to power this. We have some golden transport pipe to just kind of zip it along, and some cobblestone transport pipe, which is very inexpensive. You don't even have to have the stone transport pipe stuff. This is just cheap. So it just runs up here and into our little chest here, and that's it. If we wanted to, if we were going straight vanilla, we could raise the floor a couple of levels here, you know, just 2 blocks higher, and just hopper everything over to this chest and still be at ground level for that. And the dispensers could just work off of the redstone. It would be even easier since we didn't have to drop the redstone down. We'd actually probably have to raise it up 1 or 2 floors, so just a little step, and then just run the redstone all the way around the outside and terminate over here. That's actually how I did it in one of my implementations of this on the 164 server. But I thought I would change it up a little bit and try out this conduit stuff here, and you can see a little bit of the redstone, so I need to put a facade or something here. But this is mostly the same besides that. Since I had already hollowed out the floor for the pipe, I figured I might as well for the redstone as well and save that horizontal space there for something else, especially since this is outside right there, so we don't have a whole lot of room at all. Now I do have a pumpkin farm that's supposed to be automatic, but my block update detector works but doesn't. It sticks and stays on, probably because there's 2 or some odd number of blocks that get updated when it goes off and fires all of the pistons and leaves it in a weird state. I'm gonna have to go into creative mode and kind of play with it, figure out how I want to do it. I just needed it to power this engine here so that we could power the obsidian conduit, and this will actually suck the items from above through the floor even. That's one of the benefits of it. So it's all hidden, and it'll suck it through the floor in a 7 by 7 area. Now this is the Stirling engine, so it's actually just a little weaker than the combustion engine, so it doesn't pull as many items, but it still has the same range. And that 7 by 7 area is 4 blocks away from it, so it'd probably be about this level here. So I might need 1 more engine to pull off this last pumpkin here, but right now you just have to kind of do it manually because I broke the pistons and I don't have any redstone dust to put it back here to fix it. So those are all up here in the box. Now I showed you my wood farm, but man, oh man, did I ever collect wood. I mean, look at all of this wood. And I did find something good for the sawdust. Turcanil mentioned that it is used, if I lay it 3 in a row like so, we can actually make paper. And this will be a great way to actually not have to make a cane farm anytime soon, but I kind of like the haste potions, so we're definitely going to want to keep this cane farm going a little bit. This one's kind of out of the way and hard to get to, just a nuisance. Oh, an enderman. We need ender pearls, so let's go ahead and fight an enderman while we're out here. So let's go ahead and look at him. I have my little special hidey hole here for enderman. Let's see if he's coming. Let me turn off debug for us. There you go. You can see when I recorded the video. Where'd he go? I guess he doesn't want to play. Alright. So, moving right along. Oh, there he is. Oh, and I'm gonna die. Let's get under our hide hole here. There you go. Come on. Let's see if he comes back. Usually he's camping up here somewhere if he's... Let's turn the audio back on so I don't die. Yep, he's out there still, somewhere. There he is. Oh, and I don't want to kill him next to the lava. Oh no. That is a bad problem. Definitely don't want to be thrown off into the lava either. And he's down there again. There we go. Easy peasy. And I don't think he dropped an ender pearl. Darn. We need a few of those, if for nothing else, our tesseracts. They're a very nice part of thermal expansion. Ender IO does have a few of them as well, but of a different name. But I'm not sure what it takes to build them. This is that water we kept hearing whenever I got next to this wall here. I dug through just to kind of make a corridor and, well, made it 2 blocks and I was in water. And it came flowing down from up here. I actually stubbed it up with a piece of dirt. And this actually goes out into the north sector here. This is my backyard, or front yard, whatever you want to think of it as. I mean, this could have been a nice grand entry or a garden or something of that nature. As you can see, there's a lot of caves and holes. That's a cave. A lot of mountain here. And our cathedral's around the corner there, open access. So, probably do something with this, but not at the moment. I have made some progress in this direction. I actually started at the cathedral and dug down this direction and kind of T-boned here because I needed to jog over to hit the cave just in case of a mob comes. I went and cleaned this up a little bit with some nice planked oak here. You can see it's got a nice sheen to it. And then we run into the dark oak. This stuff is nice. And I'm kind of going with that pattern. I do like how that looks. We got a nice circle going here. It's a little bit of an oval shape. I just added 6 blocks in this direction to kind of ring it out here to touch into this wall, but still have some overhang. This area over there is most likely going to recede into the wall, and I might be able to use some kind of water feature from the next floor up and just kind of have a cascade down, maybe catch into a pool here or run off into the front there. I don't know yet. I'm always open to suggestions, so you can use the comments at the bottom of the video here to leave me some ideas. Not talking about that in this episode. Watch for the next episode where we'll discuss that. And maybe I'll get some more done on this oval here. So, we did make some changes in our smelting room. The aqueous accumulator that I was mentioning, I actually did go ahead and build one, so now we don't have to bucket water into our steam engines while we're trying to make ores and stuff. So I'm just lazy, that's all it is. I didn't want to do it. This thing was very easy to make. I made some fluid conduit, which is pretty inexpensive. It's probably the first stuff I was really able to build with the Ender IO, and it just feeds the water into here as well. With a couple of source blocks around this accumulator, nothing I can pipe this to will really suck all of the water out of it, unless if I'm trying to power like 8 of these. But I just flip the lever and I can have power on demand that uses this power conduit to feed into our grinders and our smelters and such, and our sawmill. The only downside I've ran into with this stuff so far is that it seems to be sequential. I haven't figured out how to kind of distribute the power between all of the items it's connected to. So when I turn on one of the engines, it just fills up one capacitor and then moves on to the next and the next based on distance. And it's just kind of annoying to have to sit and wait for it to fill up before I can actually start smelting. So I try to keep them all topped off. I did have to go and rescue Turcanil from the depths of a hole. He managed to get the Ender sword. I don't know how because we don't have the mod, but he managed to get the Ender sword that actually increases pearl drops for Enderman. And while I was out, he was about 4,000 blocks in that direction. While I was out there, I went and collected a lot of flowers and such so we can do some dyes or decorate the place quite a bit. Got some apples. Made a few more strong boxes because we were laden with stuff. Got a lot of cobble for who knows what. That's where I picked up a lot of this jungle wood and the saplings we have planted outside. Don't have a whole lot of coal in my reserve box here, but fortunately I have made my coal into blocks. So I got 61 blocks of coal in there, 41 in there, so that's going to power us for quite a little while. I got a lot of eggs here that we can use for our chicken farm. I've heard them called turduckens before because they look like ducks and sound like turkeys, according to somebody that does not play Minecraft. So maybe I'll just start calling them turduckens from here on out, and hopefully you know what I mean. Maybe it'll be our inside joke. Now we do have some gold here. I picked up some more redstone. We still need a little bit more ender pearl. Got a lot of ferrous ingots so we can make some ingvar and hopefully get some better items further down the chain and maybe even make these hardened strong boxes. I don't know. So front steps I think might be our next project. I am not sure what I want to do with them. I'm thinking we'll take and sweep these out in this direction here and maybe a little bridge over to the village. I don't know. Take it this way and then have some steeper steps that just go down this way and take the shortcut for those of us like me that's lazy and just want a nice direct route. Maybe have some kind of water feature in the middle. I just made a mob farm that uses waterfalls instead of dispensers, so it makes it extremely cheap. We're probably going to build it right there. As obtrusive as it may be, our mountains are just as tall, so that thing right there is just what it would look like. I'm thinking I'll build it at the 250 mark just to get it way out of the way here, especially with these mountains being so close. But since I made it out of water, I might as well make some water features and maybe show off some of the ability I got with actually manipulating water sources and such to get them to do a nice little fall. I probably need to modify that one, come to think of it. That doesn't look too good. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of with that. You know, it's going to look a little princessy or palacey kind of thing, but who knows? It might even look more like Stormwind fountains going down to the docks for those of you who play World of Warcraft. But, oh, I forgot to tell you. If you notice, I'm level 21. I did use 30 levels in here, but I ran into a witch when I came into here. And she didn't like me very much, and I hadn't really fought a witch before, since this is the first time we're really playing on the 1.7.10 server. And, well, in the process of fighting her, she killed me. So I lost 51 levels. Ouch. That wasn't very good. But you bounce back, you find some more things to get levels with. maybe get some more ore. The other thing I'd like to mention before we go is my storage room. I am in desperate need of a storage room. I'm thinking Etho has a really good storage room, but it requires kind of a central cathedral-ish bubble thing like this, and then he has 3 lines coming off of it with an obscene amount of storage. As you saw with my cobblestone, we're going to need an obscene amount of storage for some items. And so I'm thinking of making a silo, maybe a hopper chest square or something that just stacks 20 blocks tall or something. I think that would be pretty advisable. Especially if we get a quarry going. We need somewhere to dump all that stuff besides void pipes, because we might actually use it, say, in the Nether. But that's for another day. I'm still giving it a lot of thought, so any input would be more than welcome. And I also need to find where I want to put my chicken farm. I might put it in the bowels of somewhere along with these cows, just because the chickens are almost as bad as the cows. You got the dispenser that's just clicking away, and then you got them doing their gobble clucking. Yeah. And yes, that pumpkin farm is definitely going to be a priority, since I like to use these jack-o'-lanterns and just kind of bury them in the floor and hide them so we can get some lighting without actually dealing with seeing torches. Lots and lots of torches. And they just kind of look cool. I'll show you some next episode that I've already used. This is the remainder from that stash. If you have any comments that you'd like to suggest that I do, or maybe something I haven't thought of, or a better way, let me know. If you like this episode, go ahead and hit the like button. Of course, subscribe, tell your friends, refer me on Facebook. I'd actually like to get a lot more people watching so we can get a lot more comments and maybe get a lot more ideas about what I can do. I'll have to show you building some of this stuff once I get it all sorted out. But until then, this is Amaros, and have a good evening.